So this is the command that I want to send to my SQL database. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this whole SQL statement. And I'm going to add it. Remove the breakpoint and get rid of debugging. I'm going to add it right here. And I'm actually going to use a here doc to do this. So query is equal to query like so. And then I'm going to paste the query in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all of this stuff here, the stuff inside those parentheses, with group where and a lot of semicolon. So whatever groups I have coming back, it's going to fetch those groups. And I could go in and actually use constants for these field names, but I'm not even going to bother with that for now. So there's my query. And then let's execute the query. So database is new MySQLi DB server, DB user, DB password, DB database. And then $result is equal to DB query of query. And there's actually no user values in here at all, so I don't have to worry about using MySQL real escape string to sanitize the input, because there is no input. And then to get the results, I'm going to set, let's call scores equal result pointer, and I'm going to use fetch all. And this is going to convert all of the data inside this result set into an array of arrays and store it in scores. And then I want to continue using MySQLi numeric arrays for each row, because I know the order. So let's go ahead and add constants for the order of fields here. So this is going to be the scores results. So first I had the scores group hand field, then the scores expected return field, and the scores name field. And that was it. So I'm going to put a breakpoint here just so I can see whether this is all working or not. And actually turn on debugging and reload. I didn't get a breakpoint, so, oh, debugging's not on. It must have been on before and I turned it off. Okay, now I got the debugger. So let's see what we got for scores. So I got 30 items coming back. First one, there's the group 10, there's the score, there's the name. And then group 10, score, name, and so on. So now somehow I need to get this thing into my choices data. And there's a couple of different ways of doing this, but what I'm going to do is you'll notice that item 0 here in the return result in the scores array is a grouped hand. And then in the choices array here, so here's the first choice, item 0 is also a grouped hand. So what I want to do is find the score where the grouped hand matches the grouped hand here. And rather than doing that in nested loops, I'm going to build an associative array for scores. where the key is the grouped hand and the value is this row. And then I can just look up this grouped hand in that associative array. So you'll see how that goes in a second. I'll go ahead and stop the debugger and continue. So I'm going to build an associative array from scores. And then for each scores as score, I'm going to set scores assoc of score sub scores grouped hand field equal to score. And that gives me an associative array where I can look up a group to get back the scores array. And then what I want to do is use that to fill out my choices. So for each choices as choice, and here I'm going to be altering the contents of choice to add the values from score. So this needs to be a reference so that if I make a change to it, it will affect the one in the outside. So first I'm going to get the score, which is equal to scores assoc of choice sub choice group hand field. So it's looking up the matching score, and then I can use that to fill out these other values. So what do I have? I have name field, expected return field. And those are really the only two I need. So let's go ahead and fill those out. So choice sub choice expected return field is equal to score of score expected return field, and choice of choice name field is equal to score of scores name field, and that should be it. So let's go ahead and show that stuff. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm only going to show a choice if it is an interesting hand. So I'm going to pair out all of the things that aren't interesting hands for display purposes. So if choice sub choice name field, then I'm going to go ahead and output some stuff. Otherwise, I'm just going to skip it. So let's get rid of the keep field for now. And I'm going to add the name field. And I'm also going to add the score. On one line. So without any nice formatting, let's see what we get. So unexpected choice, line 242. So I must be missing a dot right here. There we go. Okay. There. So here are the three choices. I have a low pair with an expected return of 0.79, and I also have one high card with an expected return of 0.44, and then if I throw everything, my expected return is 0.33.